Once you've installed the fuse and restarted, you can access it in multiple ways. You can right click and go add tool, creator, cloner, or effects library, creator, cloner, drag it from there. Or the simplest way is shift space bar, type CLO, and have cloner. What cloner does is clones things. So to clone something, you need an input. So in this case, we'll go a background, make it white. And because we're going to make multiple copies of this, I'm going to change the resolution from default to 100 by 100. And let's have a look at that in viewer 1. There we have a square. Now you might think that to clone this, you select the background and then add the cloner. But because of a technical reason, that doesn't work. Because of the type of tool it's classed as. I'm working on a way around this, but currently it's best to not have anything selected and then add the cloner. And then you can just connect that in and look at number 2 in viewer 2, and we have the cloner. So there are multiple modes you can use the cloner. We have a grid, which is, as you'd expect, a grid of clones. We've got linear, which is a line between 2 points. You can either control the points here or by using these handles. And of course, everything can be animated. Radial, which is obviously a circle. Image, which we'll come back to in a minute. And Bezier, which is a simple Bezier curve. Let's go back to grid. Now in the tools in the grid, you've got obviously the grid count, X and Y, the grid size, which is 0 to 1, as in everything in Fusion. And then you've got right on X and right on Y, and this is literally just offsetting them one into the other. Then you have the offset, which just offsets the grid from its start position. And there's a checkbox here, which is loop grid offset. And what that does, if you see currently when I turn that, it just moves completely off. If I turn that on, it sort of loops back around. So it goes off one edge and comes on the other. But it makes more sense if I use the right on. You can see that in action. And linear, as I said, you've got a number of clones, positions which can be moved around. And again, you've got a right on and right off. And an offset, which in this case always loops. Radial, you've got pretty much the same sort of controls, a number, a right on and right off. You can make it an ellipse rather than a straight circle if you wish. As at the offset, which just moves those around. Again, if I do that, it makes it more obvious. Now you can make it clockwise, which is about the order the clones go in, i.e. anti-clockwise, starting from sort of there, or clockwise, starting from there. And we'll jump to Bezier again. Bezier, you've got, as I said, basically the same controls. And again, he uses the right on, right off. Cloning to an image is a special case. It uses the alpha channel. To demonstrate this, I'm just going to grab a text node. Let's have a look at that. See, make it slightly bigger. And to actually tell Cloner to use this as the image to clone to, you right click, hover over, let go, and go image to clone to. And if you see it's cloned, obviously that background's quite big, so I'm going to make the background a lot smaller, just so you can see, 20 by 20. And then in the controls, you've got resolution, which is how fine a resolution to use. To demonstrate this further, if I just grab this picture, which is the desktop picture from Mojave, sand dune, if I take that, right click, image to clone to, you see it doesn't really do anything interesting, it's just as if it was a grid, because the alpha channel of this is completely white, as you can see by hitting A. So what I need to do is grab a bitmap, connect that to that. Let's look at that. Change to luminance. Just clamp the blacks and push the whites like that. And now when I drag that in, image to clone to, you see it's added clones based on this alpha channel, which is what use is. And if I just grab a mask, you can sort of see multiple clones based on the alpha channel.